Good evening, compliments of the season. Thank you for joining us on Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguele, but let's remind you that in the course of the bulletin, as soon as we're able to get a clear signal, we'll be joining our outside broadcast crew at Uyo for a live match between Aqua United and Dakada FC of Uyo. But in the meantime, let's get on with the news. As part of Women Empowerment Program, Yobe State Governor May Malabuni has launched the distribution of 1,780 small ruminants of 890 vulnerable head of women households in the 17 area councils of the state. Let's get the details now from Yunusa Suleiman.
Among the targeted beneficiaries of the small ruminants, the distribution is this 57-year-old mother of 8, Amina Inwa, and 53-year-old Damina Alhajigana, a widow from Bunigari, as well as Yaka Kamodu from Goderi. They are among the 110 vulnerable women and heads of households selected from Gujuba local government area, out of the 890 women drawn from across the state to receive pair of goats for breeding. Performing the distribution exercise in Bunyadi, Governor May Malabuni noted with satisfaction how his administration initiated strategic approaches to economically empower women, who he described as good managers of resources, to promote self-reliance and support efforts towards the recovery of means of livelihood of people.
In our commitment to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, this administration has engaged a holistic approach to the fight against poverty and unemployment, targeting women, youth, and vulnerable persons.
The program has liaised with the State Pilot Livestock Development Program for provision of veterinary services in addition to training beneficiaries on management of the animals for enhanced productivity. In Damatru, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
The presidency has reaffirmed that the recently launched National Young Farmers Scheme, an initiative of National Agricultural Land Development Authority, NALDA, by President Muhammadu Buhari to engage 1,000 youths in each of the 774 local area councils in agriculture, has the capacity to create millions of jobs, ensure food sufficiency, and maintain the sector's position as the largest contributor to the nation's gross domestic product. The special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, disclosed this while on a working visit to Abeokuta.
Creation is central to the heart of this government. Each time we hold a Federal Executive Council meeting and a minister comes to make a proposal, it is mandatory that that minister must include the number of jobs that will be generated.
Mr. Femi Adesina, while speaking to NTA News on the achievements of the current administration in the outgoing year, promised that the federal government would continue to roll out policies and programs targeting more youthful population by streamlining priority on agriculture, arts, entertainment, mining, and information technology, calling on youths to take advantage of them.
Agriculture, you have the Young Farmer Scheme that has been introduced, you have the Anchor Borrowers Program, you have many policies that have been introduced that will yield jobs.
He also reiterated that the current administration is not resting on its oars to provide more infrastructural developments capable of attracting both local and international investments to the country.
If there are roads that states want, why not? We have sat in Federal Executive Council meeting where roads were ceded to states before. So it can happen if the right moves are made.
On the state of the nation's security, the presidential spokesman said the present administration is winning the war against insurgency, saying that the insurgents have been denied their territories, which they had captured before Buhari's administration began.
In Nigeria, tackling insecurity is work in progress.
While calling on all Nigerians not to let down their guards in the war against common enemy COVID-19, Femi Adesina advised Nigerians to adhere strictly to all public safety protocols laid down by the authorities, as well as project a better Nigeria in the coming year.
The federal government is committed to upholding agreements reached with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, towards its seamless resumption of academic activities in the ivory towers next year. Speaking alongside all the guests on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria, Minister of Labour and Employment Chris Ngige says government is releasing 40 billion naira before the end of December and will work within the time frame for fulfilling the various agreements. Lydia Sampson reports.
Academic and literary standards naturally are in need of constant recalibration to meet international global best practices. It is more so for Nigerian public universities, which have been closed for 9 months due to ASU strike, a situation that was further compounded by the COVID-19 lockdown. The good news is ASU and government have resolved differences leading to the suspension of the strike. But for the second wave of COVID-19, universities would have reopened almost immediately.
We don't have much of gray areas anymore, because we have done what we call memorandum of action. For example, the 40 billion promised for ASU and other unions in the university system, ASU members will get what is called end academic allowances, and other members, SANU, that's Senior Staff Association, Nigerian Universities, NASU, Non-Academic Staff Union, NAAC, National Association of Technologists Union, they will not get what they did in terms of end allowances.
The guests advocated options to regain the lost academic grounds.
One is the academic calendar that has been bastardized as a result of the lockdown and ASU strike. Second is the quality and time. Third, we're looking at COVID. What do we do with the non-medical protocol?
It's not a hopeless situation. I want to assure Nigerians that the government will strive to meet its own side of the obligations as agreed at the conclusion of the recent meeting. So we are more or less, mind what I said, more or less good to go with academic activities.
They called for a holistic approach that will not compromise standard.
It is not going to be difficult if there is conscious investment, actually. I say conscious investment in 5 major areas. Issue of infrastructure. You realize that it is possible for lecturers to deliver on 2 times what they used to do if they are aided.
They are optimistic that with sacrifice from all key players and deployment of requisite facilities, Nigerian universities and students may catch up on almost a session that was lost to the strike. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And still on the education scene, like others, education sector was not spared by the dreaded coronavirus in the year 2020. Abdullahi Musa Suleja takes a look at how the sector fared in the outgoing year. He also tells us that year 2020 will remain indelible in the minds of teachers in the country.
Education in Nigeria started on a very good note, especially with all the primaries, secondary and tertiary institutions operating uninterrupted, not until Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, announced an industrial action occasioned by dispute between it and the government, throwing spanners into the wheels of academic activities in public universities. Another blow to the education sector was the closure of all the 104 unity schools nationwide following the outbreak of coronavirus. As a proactive step to prevent the spread of the dreaded virus, the school remained closed until government directed its reopening to existing students to write WAEC, NECO, NAPTEP, and common entrance examination at primary schools. State began to open school at different dates, and the federal government announced through the Federal Ministry of Education the opening of all unity schools nationwide.
In their own state of preparedness, we will receive report from the federal principal at QC. Everybody has properly distanced the classes.
However, a cheering news hit the sector on World Teachers' Day when President Muhammadu Buhari announced a new salary structure, new retirement age, among other incentives to encourage teachers and the profession to revamp the education system that will be responsive to the 21st century demands.
special salary scale for teachers in basic and secondary schools, including provisions for rural posting allowance, science teacher allowances, and peculiar allowances is hereby given. Free tuition and automatic admission for biological children of teachers in their respective schools.
The 2020 National Common Entrance Examination into Unity Schools was conducted successfully, and Minister of Education Adamu announced the result. Still in the year under review, an effort to redefine Nigeria's focus and drive paradigm shift in its research and development enterprise is underway. This is equal to the inauguration of eminent members drawn from academics and industries as Standing Committee on Research and Development by Tertiary Education Fund, TED Fund. To fulfill its promise in solidifying ties between Nigeria and Chinese government, University of Abuja has inaugurated railway engineering course, the first by any Nigerian university, facilitated by the People's Republic of China.
The University of Abuja is well positioned, endowed and prepared to take up this leadership responsibility with all sense of humility and determination.
Despite the challenges of COVID-19 and the industrial action by ASU and ASUP, the sector fared relatively well in the year under review, with hope that this milestone will mark the beginning of a new dawn for not only the education sector, but the nation as a whole. Abdullahi Musa Slija, NTA News.
Let's look at some felicitation. President Muhammadu Buhari felicitates with former Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Defense, retired Major General Oluyemi Joseph Bajwa on his 80th birthday. In a statement signed by his Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the President rejoices with the family of the Jagumolu of Ikali land, as well as the government and people of Ondo State in celebrating the milestone age. President Buhari recalls with admiration the times he spent together with General Bajwa during the military years, beginning from the 3rd Infantry Division of the Nigerian Army when he was brigade commander in the northern sector based in Maiduguri, and Bajwa was a brigade commander in the southern sector in Calabar. And as the Prince and Astute Administrator joins the octogenarian club, President Buhari wishes him divine blessings of good health and long life so that he will continue to serve his community, country, and humanity. Similarly, President Muhammadu Buhari rejoices with renowned broadcaster Smollett Adetoyashi Shitu Alamu, popularly known as the Alamu Man, on his 70th birthday. In a statement by his media advisor Femi Adesina, the president applauds the writer, actor, disc jockey, presenter, producer, and current affairs commentator for bringing joy to radio listeners, particularly in the western part of the country in the past 4 to 5 years. President Buhari appreciates the multiple gifts bestowed by God on the Alamu Man and wishes him greater exploits as he continued to mentor the younger generation. The president counseled him to show them the path of ethical practice and respectful rules, which made the Alamu Man a much-loved media personality over the past 4 decades. In Rivers State, we hear that Governor Nyesom Wike has threatened to lock down the state if the cases of COVID-19 continue to increase in the state. The governor was reacting to the second wave of the COVID-19 and the lackadaisical attitude of people to safety protocols, Ogedi Onyekwere reports.
With 40 new cases of COVID-19 infection in the state, going by the update of Nigeria Center for Disease Control on the 26th of December 2020, Governor Wike says the government will have no choice than to introduce more stringent measures to ensure the second wave of the pandemic is checked. He reminded church leaders on the need to observe the prescribed safety protocols on COVID-19.
I want to appeal to all of you, but we have to be more strict now, because the way the second wave is going is more deadly than the first wave. I know how many people we have lost since the second wave started. Bishop, let our people wear their masks. Tell all the churches in your diocese that everybody must wear masks. If you don't comply, I have no choice but to shut down the churches.
The governor assured the church of his administration's support while also promising Omagwa people that the government will construct the road leading to the palace of their paramount ruler. In Omagwa, Ogidinyekwere, NTA News.
And more update coming out from COVID-19 cases. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control has announced 838 new cases of the infection in Nigeria. FCT has 297, Lagos 253, Plateau 82, Kaduna 57, Katsina 32, Nasarawa 31, Kano 25, Gombe 24, Oyo and Rivers have 8 each, Zamfara 7, Ogun, Bauchi and Edo have 4 each, while Anambra and Sokoto states recorded 1 case each. There are now 84,414 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the country. 71,034 have been discharged, while 1,254 persons have died from the virus in the country. All right, let's now join Adiola in Lagos to bring us more updates. Adiola, compliments of the season.
Of the season to you too, Ruth. Good to see you. Now, the Lagos state government has charged individuals involved in buying and issuing of fake COVID-19 test results to desist from the act or risk being prosecuted. Lynn Leneke reports that the State Commissioner for Health, Professor Aguele, gave the warning while updating the media on the pattern of a second wave of the virus in Lagos.
Professor Aguele attributed the second wave of COVID-19 in Lagos State to general laxity, false sense of security, non-adherence to safety guidelines, reopening of schools and the economy.
Now you will see a lot of public information. We're going to renew our public health campaigns. As we're doing right now, we will continue to promote the non-pharmaceutical interventions and emphasize the guidelines that protect people from COVID-19.
Professor Aguele disclosed that an increase in positive cases from travelers into the country has risen to 8% in the last 1 week, noting that more stringent measures are being adopted by the state government to check the spread of the killer virus, particularly at the community level.
Looking at our profile, and we're saying that majority of people don't get that sick, and even those that get sick, rather than waste your money, try and get those people to hospitals, manage them early with the improved management protocols that we have now, and you will save lives.
Early diagnosis allows for prompt and adequate management and care. The Commissioner for Health says the state has increased its testing capacity to between 2,000 to 3,000 daily. He advised Lagosians to embrace safety guidelines and use facilities provided for free to get evaluated and tested if noticed any symptoms. In Lagos, Lynn Leneke, NTA News.
The Federal Fire Service in Lagos State is adopting global best practices in mitigating and confronting incidents that could lead to fire outbreak. The approach is to sensitize the more than 20 million residents of Lagos. Michael Olaleye reports.
The 5th of November 2019 was one of the saddest days for traders as the Balogun market in Lagos Island. A careless act of refilling a power generating set with petrol went wrong and cost traders billions of naira.
We don't know what is really the problem. We don't know whether it's the diesel, whether it's the this thing, we don't know. But every two years the thing starts.
It is one of the countless and avoidable fire mishaps recorded in Lagos, claiming lives. And with the dry season already here, the approach is prevention rather than managing calamities. The mandate of this fire service awareness is aimed at adverting the ugly trend. The inscription speaks louder than the action, as personnel of the Federal Fire Service moved from street to street, seeking out volunteers who will adhere to the basic rule of safety first.
To create awareness for those that may not have known the fire safety tips or fire safety awareness, and for those that know, this is the kind of
reminder. Safety is everybody's business. It's our business, it's their business.
The service says with its aggressive infrastructural upgrade and synergy with other emergency respondents, response to disaster is more prompt than ever. In Lagos, Michael Lale, NTA News.
And we're done from here. It's time to go on our very first break. Nationwide will continue thereafter. To stay with us.
The counsel of our fathers.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not arms.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
When you think about hospitality and affordable luxury away from home, then you talk about Sharon Ultimate Hotels, a secured and serene environment that offers kingly services such as 24-hour room service, impeccable security with CCTV surveillance, parking lots, free Wi-Fi internet service, free complimentary breakfast, restaurants that offers continental and local dishes, well-equipped fitness center with instructors, swimming pool, 350 capacity multi-purpose hall, laundry service, pastry corner, mini mart, and our suites are breathtaking. For reservation, locate us at plot 1710 Tafawa Balewa Way, Area 3, Garikia, Abuja. The Sharon Ultimate Hotels, the ultimate place.
Do you know that 35% of every girl child and women are raped on daily basis? Some are killed in the process, some take their lives in shame, others remain emotionally dead for life. It is sad. This culture is not ours, definitely not African. How did we allow bad culture to infiltrate and take over? Even if you lack fear for the law, what of fear of God? And you, why do you cover up rape acts when it happens? Remember, a problem shared is a problem half solved. Never cover any rape act because a rapist is a murderer. It could be you or your loved ones next. Women must be treated like the prize gem they are. Say no to rape.
The food crisis is growing, and our tables will soon be empty if the world's population continues to increase and food production decreases.
We're not producing enough for our population.
I would do better if I can get source, financial source.
Catch new episodes of Farm and Fortune every Monday at 5:30 p.m. on NTA Network.
A new edition of TV Guide is out with special focus on the game changer, His Excellency Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State. Broadcasting in a digital economy, Maxwell Logo gives an insight. This edition also features Nancy Naji of AIT, a name synonymous with business. Meet the NCDC boss, Dr. Chikwe Ihekweazu. TV Guide, your indispensable companion, also x-rays the relevance of social media in the modern society. Meet some TV professionals who have impacted their spaces and other inspiring stories in sports, entertainment, and lots more. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or NTA stations nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Thank you for staying tuned. Azare, the headquarters of her local government area, and 3 other communities in the area council of Borno State were attacked last Saturday, where 4 persons were reportedly killed with presidential, residential and public structures destroyed. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum, who was in Abuja, cut short his official engagement and visited the communities to commiserate with them. Mohammed Goni reports.
In what the residents describe as coordinated attack, as the headquarters of our local government, Shapa and Tashang Aledi, all in the area council, came under attack with 4 persons, including 2 hunters, a personnel of NSCDC and a resident killed, while Azare police headquarters, residential houses, school, a place of worship and shopping complex was set ablaze.
Sai na ga kasancan kawai a take an fara wuta da yaran mu fa ana wuta na tsaya na shiru na duba ban da makami a waje na bindiga na samu matsala.
Governor Babagana Umara, who took time to sympathize with the affected communities, stressed commitment to protect lives and property, as well as create enabling environment for citizens to live a normal life, where he also announced 6 patrol vehicles to the vigilante, in addition to other logistics to enable them further secure the area.
We need to supplement the efforts of the Nigerian military and the paramilitary by strengthening the resilience of the community. We shall empower the civilian JTF, we shall empower the vigilante and hunters with all their needed requirements.
The governor also announced that a committee will be in the area to assess damages with a view to rebuilding the structures destroyed, while the deputy governor, who is already in Haul, will provide all the needs of the vigilante and hunters within 48 hours to complement efforts of the military. Senator representing Southern Borno at the National Assembly, Mohammed Alindumi, assured to support the efforts of Governor Zulum in his quest to restore peace.
The House of Representatives and the Senate, particularly all of us, are there to back up the actions of His Excellency.
The attack, which was said to have started around 4 o'clock in the afternoon of Saturday, lasted till the following morning, which was later repelled by the Nigerian Air Force. While in Biu, Governor Babagana Umara commiserated with the Emir of Biu, Moy Mustafa Umar Mustafa, over the attack in his door. Prayed Allah to avert future occurrence. The Emir thanked the governor for his concern to the plight of the citizenry and further thanked him for the timely response to the situation. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
All right, I'm afraid we have to halt the news now because we're joining our outside broadcast crew for the live match I mentioned at the start of the bulletin. That's between Aqua United and the Kada FC of Uyo. I'm made to understand that the Kada is in white and Aqua United is in orange, so you enjoy the match.